Day 13, lock it in. We're taking steps over 21 days to grow or start our business. Branding. When I first started, I just thought branding was a logo, but I've come to realize it's so much more than that. It's your personal story. What is it that you want to convey with your product or your service? Is it to make people's life easier? Is your brand about joy? Like when they use your product or service, do people feel good? People that are in the travel business, they are in the business of helping you experience something, right? So branding is so important. We're not going to sleep on this. So let's talk about some things to brand when we're just starting out. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. I would love to continue this journey with you guys. So why does branding matter? Well, first impression matters. First impression is everything. If you go someplace and you have a bad experience, you remember that. So branding is building trust. It's letting them know that when I see this logo or when I see this product, I can trust it because their brand represents something that resonates with me. The bottom line is we have to look the part. We have no choice. If you want to have a brand that represents things that are of a certain class level, then your packaging, your whole vibe is of an upscale nature. If you're something that is more down to earth and gritty and relaxed, then your brand might be more casual when it comes to even the style, layout, colors, and font. Don't sleep on that because I thought that a logo was it, and it's so much more than a logo. Branding also creates an emotional connection. People, they buy based on emotion more than we realize. Of course, there's the things like, I don't know, toothpaste. You buy because you need toothpaste when you run out or so. But even with that, there are certain soaps that make me feel more luxurious or more pampered than others. So I might buy a soap based on how it makes me feel after I use it. Emotion is one of those things that you can tie in also to your brand story. So make sure when you're thinking about branding, once you feel like I know what kind of feeling or message I want to convey, also how do I want them to feel about that message? And in this day and age, values are important to people when it comes to what they align with. There's some people that say if you're starting, I don't know, your own line of wine, depending on how you market it, it may not be part of a certain value system that somebody has. And when you're clear about your brand message, it helps clients and customers align with your value. If you're somebody that values a certain quality of product or service, that might align. There may be some other people that are like, well, I like the quality, but I also want things very fast. You may have an advantage of branding yourself as we do things fast. We get these results fast. We help people go from 1 to 10 in 3 seconds. There are some companies, I'll be honest, I do not support. There are certain things that are aligned in their values that don't resonate with mine. And part of their branding, it's obvious that it doesn't, but when you go deeper, some of their messaging and some other things about the company, I realized, well, hey, this isn't for me. So just stay true to yourself and really trust that you will find your audience, you will find your customer with your personal brand. And you want to make sure that your brand is consistent among all platforms. You want to have a cohesive brand. You don't want to have like a different color on Instagram than you do on TikTok, and then Facebook is a whole different logo and font. I know sometimes we're limited with fonts when it comes to certain platforms like Instagram. However, you want to keep it tied in and consistent. Use the same colors, use the same style, use the same logo. Make sure it matches your website so people don't have to say, well, where am I at? Who is this? I thought this was this and now I'm over here. You don't want to cause any confusion because you want to make sure that you are recognized over time. And if you're struggling with how to brand yourself, just ask yourself some questions. Ask yourself, who is your ideal customer? What values do you have? And do you think those customers share the same values? How is your business unique? For example, if your business is making jewelry, your brand might be boho chic, handmade with great craftsmanship, as opposed to somebody else who has a line that is completely elegant and everything is sourced from fine resources in Italy or whatever. Make it something that is unique to you, and don't be afraid, and cut out all the noise with comparing yourself to other brands. And even if you find some brands that are similar, you still know that you're going to have your unique voice with yours. Then you want to develop your brand voice. And this is something that I think I'm still figuring out. Some brands are really fun and outgoing and creative. You know, we've seen a lot of the beauty skincare brands that, or the lipstick brands, makeup brands that cater to the younger millennials and the Gen Zs. They have a bright, fun, like energetic brand. Your brand might be more laid back. It might be more professional, more conservative, or intellectual, based on your customer base, how they like to receive their products, how they like to receive communication and messaging. And once you figure out what your tone is, whether it be casual and fun or professional and informative, make sure you keep that tone across all your platforms. If you're going to be informative and professional on Instagram, you do it on Facebook, TikTok, or whatever. If you're going to be fun and casual, then that is the lane you want to stay in on all platforms. So that way the communication doesn't get confusing and it stays on brand. And remember, if you need any help with simple checklists for a business or a guide, I have some linked in the description and it's pinned in the comments, so be sure to check it out. I'm also working on a 61-page business guide. I hope it'll be ready by the first of the year in 2025 for you. I used to kind of think, I don't need a business plan, but actually it really is a roadmap, and the top companies and executives and professionals and entrepreneurs, they say it for a reason. And even though it seems like something you're going to do, dust off, and put away, just have it. So I'm going to make one easy for you. You just kind of replace the text that I have and you plug in your own text. So be sure to subscribe, because I will announce that in whatever video that I have that precedes launching it. Next, you want to craft a memorable tagline. Just do it, Nike. That is something that we all remember. We don't forget it. Craft a tagline that is right for your business. You want to make it a short, catchy phrase that just sums up your business. An example might be elegant jewelry for everyday moments. I don't know why I keep going back to jewelry examples, because I do not make jewelry. That is not, I'm an artist and I do have a product that I do by hand, but it's not jewelry. But I feel like there's a lot of people that make jewelry, that make some unique jewelry, and it's a business that you can do from home, and it's very creative. And I find a lot of entrepreneurs that launch and just have massive stuff. Everybody loves jewelry. Women love jewelry. We can never have too much jewelry. So I think that's why I use jewelry often, and probably because maybe I want some more of it. Let me get back on track. So you may be wondering, what is the cost? Is there going to be some money involved with branding? And the answer is no, there does not have to be a cost, because number one, when it comes to a tagline, those are just words. You're going to make those up yourself. You're going to come up with it. You can choose your font. There's a whole host of fonts. I have personally purchased inexpensive fonts because I didn't want something that was available, or a font that I had seen before. But even with that, I think it was maybe $5 for a particular font that I found, but there are plenty of free fonts. Now, when it comes to a logo, I paid for my logo design and I found somebody on Fiverr who was really reasonable, and that was a long time ago. We've come a long way with resources now when it comes to image production using AI. There are tools like Midjourney. There's something called, I think, is it CDM Dream or CG Dream. It's totally free. Gemini is another resource. I think that they have some type of visual element to where you can ask them to create a logo based on your specs. And again, there's also Fiverr. You can find people that are willing to do a logo for as little as $5. So if you can buy a cup of coffee, you can get a logo. And feedback from friends are a good way to test out your logo, your brand, your tag. And be sure to get some feedback from your friends or family, because they will tell you the truth. If your logo stinks or if your tagline is not on point, they will let you know. And it's really good to hear what they say, because you want to make sure that, we all are we love our own ideas, right? We think we have the greatest ideas. At least I do. And I'm thinking, oh, this is great. This is like, just epic, right? And then I will run it by my kids. Kids are a good group to run things by because they will tell you the truth. And especially if they're close to your demographic, an older teenage girl, Gen Z, if you sell jewelry or anything in the beauty world, then even if it's a t-shirt, go to them. If you have to explain it too much, then maybe that's not the one for you. And it's never too early to come up with a logo, a tagline, a brand. You can do all of that while you're developing and growing your company before you launch. As long as you have it together before you launch. And you know what? You can change it. There's so many brands that have tweaked their logo or, tweaked their tagline. Just make sure you haven't done anything like a trademark so that way you haven't wasted money and time. As usual, I want to hear your comments. Let me know how it's going, your thoughts. If you're new to watching this, you can go back and start with day one and see all of the videos. They're just little tidbits of motivation or what I'm going through on this 21-day lock it in experiment. And I want to see how much progress we make and what we've done. And I'd love to hear from you. So leave a comment. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.